To rid him of doubts was tough, but unaware Taiyong agreed. Next day, he arrived as planned. Chengtian prepared a grand feast, yet awkwardness filled the air when the golden spoon appeared. That shiny spoon had your parents' stuff written all over it. How's that for nostalgia? All I want is to reclaim my throne, and with no more small talk, they dove straight into business. Chengtian showed his nerves, making Taiyong facepalm. He grabbed a spoon to eat without hesitation. As he was about to eat, he froze. His hand shook uncontrollably, and a fierce inner struggle ensued. Finally, after struggling, he dropped the golden spoon and quickly put it in a box, as if he had to endure it a second later. Ultimately, amidst Chengtian's look of utter astonishment, he strode out of the place with big steps. It was precisely that single punch that instantly calmed down the two individuals who had been on the verge of a confrontation. Taiyong finally figured out what he wanted, that bittersweet feeling of letting go of his parents. It was all about becoming Huan Tianfeng, turning his back on family to become Lai Shengquan. For Chengtian, this was like throwing hot coals on a sensitive. This was undoubtedly the greatest insult. He left parents for money, guilty yet self-deceiving, that all would choose so. Even knowing all truths and facing hardships, Taiyong firmly chose family, shattering Chengtian's self-deception. Under the dim lights, we finally found Chengtian drowning his sorrows in booze, and the two opened up like never before. However, Rujian, who shared a similar experience, also revealed the reason why he chose Chengtian to swap identities within such a candid manner, and with the influence of alcohol and the soft glow of the lights. Chengtian had to spring into action, but once they stepped away from the dim lighting, he suddenly jolted awake, wrapping up his drummer before bolting. Rujian was left alone in a cold room. Chengtian didn't go home for a cold shower, but to his ex. To make matters worse, he poured all his intense emotions on his ex, but she surprised him with a question. It was a question that made the hairs on the back of his neck stand up, and he had no clue how his ex got that info. But this wasn't the time for honesty, so Chengtian made a hasty exit. Their paths barely crossed again until the day of his birthday. Chengtian met Taiyong at home, as if by fate. They shared a birthday, but at the moment they met, Chengtian suddenly recalled Wu Huo's words, and at that moment he dared not waste another second. He hurried to whisk Taiyong away, but just then the boss showed up out of nowhere, no escaping this. Chengtian resigned himself to the situation, but he was stunned when his dad said to Taiyong, "Why haven't you swapped back?" Did he misremember the birthday, or was Wu Huo exaggerating? Chengtian was baffled, but then, "Taiyong's birthday is for you, Chengtian," Mom piped in. "How could you take it away?" "Come on, Chengtian." The rich kid had barely settled into his office before his fiancée slapped him, complaining he left her alone at the hotel talk about confusion. This morning, he turned from poor guy to rich kid, only to be pelted with rotten eggs at the office. Someone even dared to hit his desk. Back in the office, his fiancée made odd remarks, but his reaction alerted Rujian immediately. A wave of dread washed over him. "Huan Taiyong, you are the real deal." Turns out, Chengtian had swiped Taiyong's dad with his golden spoon. He's been advancing company reforms, upsetting many, as today marks both their birthday and a pivotal reform moment. Before reaching the office, his birth father appeared, instantly swapping roles. "Come on, Chengtian." Their birthday reunion with their biological parents was literally like coming home. Rujian, realizing the truth, called Chengtian on the double, accusing him of being careless around his real parents. Chengtian hastily leaned on his experience for help. After all, he's reluctant to abandon the wealthy life, yet now, last night's disappointments are gone. "Nan, this isn't happening." "Sorry, but girls don't just let things slide like that. You're grounded. Remember yesterday?" Despite that, Rujian couldn't bring herself to let Chengtian go, even though he hadn't dealt with this kind of drama since he didn't know how to swap back. But to aid Chengtian, he humbly approached the strict spouse had always scorned. He seized the chance to inquire about the boss' love life and got key intel the girl was crazy and had fought with a CEO friend. And she refused to marry you, running wildly around. But Ru Zhen didn't expect she'd also try hard to solve things. Meanwhile, Chengtian romanced his ex by the seaside and hung up on Ru Zhen's call without hesitation. When Ru Zhen was extremely anxious, Taiyong suddenly called, saying Chengtian was on a seaside trip with his ex and demanding to end the engagement. She claimed only after breaking the engagement could she openly prevent Chengtian and his ex from being together. Her dream as a wealthy daughter-in-law was fading, yet that wasn't her priority. Lai Shenkong, what about Dr. G? Why aren't you answering your phone? She quickly jumped in her car, headed straight for Chengtian. She intended to confront him, but as time passed, her mindset shifted. You and Dr. G? That's none of my business. As long as you admit you messed up, I can forgive you. But what she didn't see coming was walking in on them being all cozy. Well, just because Emma Tigermon doesn't mean Emma Housecat. The boss lady knew about golden spoons. From the poor kid's first appearance, she saw through him but didn't intervene. In fact, she herself aided him in the swap, knowing the golden spoon rules well.